Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, this is kind of an impromptu video. This is going to be me recapping the latest couple episodes of Amazing Race Canada. Kind of where we're at the midway point of the season. Kind of, I guess. Usually there's 11 episodes. We're just past episode 5. So, and I figured, you know what, might as well just do a video about this. What's happening next week. It's kind of been insane because it's kind of been topsy-turvy, I guess, with how this season is functioning here. And yeah. So, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what's been happening here. So, I'll run through the leg too quickly here. They go through they're racing to Lethbridge, Alberta. I've been there before. It was pretty cool. Yeah, and there's the Subway Challenge, and there's nothing much about this. There is an all-elimination leg, pretty much. They're still racing, and Franca and Ella, who did end up winning the season, or not the season. My God, they ended up winning the leg here, which is kind of interesting. And my goodness, there's so many people. Look how big those chunks are. And there's only, how long have these people been playing for? That's what I want to know. Yeah, anyways, yeah, then they race to Fernie, BC, where we do end up seeing Cassie and Jimmy end up getting eliminated there. And leg 3 was kind of fine. Let's get physical challenge. It was kind of interesting, especially. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Cassie and Jimmy did end up going there, and let's talk about them quickly here. They were fine, and we're going to talk about them a little bit later on as well, I guess. Actually, right now, because in leg 4, we do end up getting the details that we believe that Court and Allie. Catherine and Craig did end up winning leg 3. By the way, this is kind of all over the place. Yeah, Catherine and Craig ended up winning leg 3, but had to drop out of the race briefly, kind of, because they got COVID. I think that's what we think. And Court and Allie also had to drop out, and not Cedric and Deshawn, but the other two, Dennis and Jarrell. Which means for leg 4, or the start of leg 4, Julie and Kathy, yeah, and Cassie and Jimmy end up coming back from, they were eliminated. And this leg here is kind of interesting, I guess. Honestly, I like this leg. They're in Canmore, British Columbia, Canmore, Alberta. My goodness. Fernie's in BC, by the way. That's for leg 3. But yeah, it was definitely quite interesting. There's people everywhere. This is like the Russia of the surfer. Cleo, go away. The cat's at the door. Cleo, go away. Cleo, go away. She's ruining the video, guys. I'm going to exit the game, actually. Hold on. I'm going to deal with this. Go. So yeah, they ended up coming back there, which the one point where they were like, they end up bringing back, maybe want them not to win. They definitely don't. Because if you don't know, I don't like when eliminated teams get back in the race. I don't want them to win. It's kind of what happened with Amazing Race Australia 5. And here we are. Like, there's so many problems here. And There were so many problems with this season. I mean, it's really topsy-turvy, kind of. You know. Oh, you don't it's kind of insane. I'm just gonna bring up the Amazing Race Canada website here. I feel like that's better than me playing Splixio. But yeah, see, episode 4 was an elimination. Like, they did have to do a speed bump. Not that big of a speed bump. It was literally them just pumping up their boats or their rafts and then going down the river. And overall, wasn't that surprising. I think like Brent at this point, I think the top 3, especially after watching like 5, which is, we'll talk about that. I think it solidifies my opinion of, I think episode. What was I gonna say? The topsy-turvy season. What the? I literally had something in my brain and it literally flew out there. Was it Ollie? Might have been Ollie. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I don't want this. Go away. Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of weird because like I don't know what I was saying. I completely forgot, and now I'm kind of mad. I think the final 3 is going to be Brendan and Connor, Jesse and Marika, and Frank and Nella. I think that could be it. Or Beverly and Veronica, which really had a terrible leg in like 4, but it really didn't matter. It was an elimination leg anyways. So, yeah. And Cassie and Jimmy did end up coming last in like 4, but it was an elimination leg. But yeah. Then leg 5, they were racing back to BC to the Vernon, I think. Yeah, Vernon, BC. And honestly, this leg was very interesting, especially like they start off with the paragliding task, then there's the biathlon roadblock, and then there's the detour, where there's one side where it's like making pies or apple pies, one side's lawn bowling. My God. And then we got the counting tree challenge, which is where we get some very interesting scene here, where Cedric and Deshawn decided to, instead of doing the counting they decided to look through the other teams' stuff. And I was like, it's kind of weird. I was like, why would they do this? And at first I was thinking they might just get a 30-minute penalty, because if you just... But they didn't really do the task, now did they? So they did end up getting their a 2-hour penalty, and then for literally looking up the number, or pounds and whatever, and of how many berries is there, whatever. Cherries, pounds, I don't know. And they ended up getting a penalty there. But what really, then Julie and Kathy, who were also at the bottom, who came back from the previous, they end up getting last. Because, guess what happened? They literally... Julie accidentally picked up the wrong board. And she didn't notice. She immediately put it down too. I don't think she read what was on there. Or I think she just accidentally picked up the wrong board. And they got penalized for 2 hours. And that solidified them getting getting them eliminated there, which is very sad. I really don't think they should have been eliminated. If you want my honest opinion, I think Cedric and Deshawn should have been eliminated there because Julie and Kathy, got to the pit stop 19. Cedric and Deshawn had about like 20-ish minutes left, just under that in their penalty, and Julie and Kathy would have made the leg. However, one little freaking mistake cost them the race, which is very, very depressing, if you want my honest opinion. And I think that's kind of rigged. I don't like that at all. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Here's what it said here. Cedric and Deshawn and Julie and Kathy were both issued 2-hour penalty for interfering with other teams' equipment at the Dawson Orchards Challenge. This did not affect their placements, however. Okay, see what happened. Yeah, that was that. I don't think they should have. Julie and Kathy. I think it's just because it happened right after, pretty much, right after Cedric and Deshawn. And it was literally one little itty mistake. I don't think they should have been, Julie and Kathy should have gone home here. I think they should have stayed for the next round. They should have probably stayed, and it should have been Cedric and Deshawn going. And then we get to the promo for episode 6. Let's talk about these placements here. I'll just start off with leg 1. Leg 1, team number 1 was Brendan and Connor. Team number 2, Beverly and Veronica. Team number 3, Cassie and Jameek. 4th was Franca and Nella. 5th was Catherine and Craig. 6th for Court and Allie. 7th for Dennis and Darrell. 8th for Jesse and Jesse and Marika, my God. 9th for the Cedric and Sean, and Julie and Kathy got 10th. We were eliminated, but then came back from leg 4. For leg 2, Frank and Nella were first. Jesse and Marika, my God. Team number 2. 3rd place for Beverly and Veronica. Brendan and Connor 4th. 5th place went to Catherine and Craig again. 6th for Cedric and Deshawn. 7th for Dennis and Darrell. 8th for Cassie and Jamie. 9th for Court and Allie, but it was a non-elimination leg, or they were still racing. Leg 3, Catherine and Craig won, but then kind of eliminated because they got COVID. Team number 2, Brendan and Connor. 3, Beverly and Veronica. 4th, Jesse and Marika. 5th went to Court and Allie. 6th went to Cedric and Deshawn. 7th, Franca and Nella. 8th, Dennis and Darrell. 9th, Cassie and Jameek, and they were eliminated there, but then came back in leg 4. For leg 4, Brendan and Connor first. Jesse Marika 2nd, Frank and Nella 3rd, Cedric and Deshawn 4th, 5th for Julie and Kathy, 6th for Beverly and Veronica, which they had a very disastrous like in Canmore. And Cassie and Jameek did end up getting 7th, but it was an elimination leg again, I guess. And then leg 5 here, Jesse and Marika got 1st. 2nd went to Frank and Nella. Brendan and Connor 3rd. Beverly and Veronica 4th. 5th went to Cassie and Jameek. Cedric and Sean got 6th, I guess. And 7th went. Julie and Kathy were eliminated here. Well, in my honest opinion, I think Julie and Kathy should have stayed. I think Cedric and Deshawn should have went out instead. For leg 6, I believe they're off to London, Ontario, that neck of the woods, kind of eastern part of the country. And that is where we see these 3 teams, Catherine and Craig, Court and Allie, Dennis and Darrell, end up coming back And I think these twists are kind of why I don't think there will be U-turns. There might be a U-turn. It's going to be interesting. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. And I'm kind of wondering, is Cassie and Jamaica, are they automatically going to be eliminated? They might be. Or are they... Is there going to be a double elimination like next week or something like along the lines of that? Who knows what will happen with that? It's going to be very interesting. Actually, there is a U-turn, though. I kind of want there to be a U-turn now that I'm thinking about it. Or like a one-way or something around those lines there. I think it should be fun. But there we go. That is it, I guess. We'll see what happens. Next time we do one of these videos, it might be the review. I don't know. But I just wanted to do, this is kind of my mid-season thoughts and opinions of The Amazing Race Canada. I'll probably just end up calling it The Amazing Race Canada episodes 2 to 5 recap show, or something like that. Or something along the lines of that. I literally checked the views for the first one. It did pretty well. It got over 100 views, which is mind-blowing. I don't know if it's just because I was playing Splixio. It might have been, but we'll see what happens with that. But there you go. That is the video. Thank you for watching.